Notice how we split you two tonight? Oh, wait.
Was that talked about? Was that talked about? Was that talked about?
I could still get him.
I could get him right here.
It's like, all right, you're sitting at this desk, Franco, and okay, Justin, you're sitting at this desk.
You guys are pointing the wrong way.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay, wait, ready? This way is Justin, right? Right? Wait. Huh? Am I pointing at you, Franco?
Come on, Franco.
You guys look like idiots. But let's hop into Tatum tonight. Who was our SeatGeek player of the game? Those hearts. What are those hearts?
What are those? Seamus, you threw yourself a birthday party earlier. Now you're giving. That's
giving
good.
yourself the kisses.
You could do Seamus's kisses, and we could do that. You could do whatever the hell you just did there.
Oh,
look at that! Look at that! Wow!
That's
Franco's blushing. That was so cute.
Try to do it again. Ooh, wow. I have no idea how I can do that. I just got the magic stick over here, I guess.
All right, well, let's hop into Jayson Tatum, guys. Tonight, Jayson Tatum was your SeatGeek player of the game, guys. Before we talk about JT and how great he was tonight, I just want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of the post-game show in this segment. Guys, SeatGeek. SeatGeek has you covered for every live event in your area and around the world. Guys, at checkout, use code Celtics Weekly for $20 off your first purchase. Again, Celtics Weekly at checkout, guys. You can find that link in the top of our description down below. Guys, again, a huge shout out to SeatGeek, but let's talk about Jayson Tatum tonight. 35 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 stocks, 13 of 20 from the floor, 5 of 8 from behind the arc, guys. 25, I believe, of those 35 points coming in that second half, along with 8 of those assists. He was dominant on all levels. He was unguardable. Justin, something you said was it kind of looked like, wait, hold on. These guys can't guard me, right? There is no Embiid out there. There is no Paul George. And Tatum, alongside Brown, but Tatum in particular tonight was just, you asked me, this is probably one of his best games he's played, guys, all season.
He was comfortable. And I think what Tatum did really well tonight was facilitate, and it shows there with the 11 assist stat. We're so mesmerized by Tatum's scoring numbers all the time, but it's really his improvement in the other statistics on the stat sheet, one of which being his assist number starting to rise. And we've seen this out of Tatum multiple nights now this season where he's getting those double-digit assist numbers. Obviously, it helps when players are hitting their shots, but also Tatum has to be able to, really dictate the offense in order to get that assist, in order for those guys to get those types of shots. So, credit for Jayson Tatum coming in tonight and dominating, really brought this team back. And he was engaged defensively, which I don't want to say rarely see from Jayson Tatum because he is a pretty good defender, but at the same time, usually we're talking about his offense. But I love the drive from Tatum tonight. I just mentioned it a few minutes ago, but when he just put his head down and got to the basket, there was nobody stopping him. Nobody was going to. Nobody even tried. It was just something that happened. And once, towards the end of that third quarter, start of the fourth, Tatum hit a couple layups. All of a sudden, 16, then 14. You're like, oh, hold on a second. Are the Celtics doing this thing where they come back? But I even said, is this one of those fake comebacks? Is this one of these pranks? Are we getting pranked right now? Giving us false hope. But no, Jayson Tatum helped the Celtics storm back and really took over this game in the fourth quarter, Franco.
He really caused the court to tilt tonight for the Celtics. The 76ers really couldn't find an answer for him in any fashion tonight. Even when they were doubling up on him, he was still finding ways to score. And you saw the Celtics did take full advantage of that in the third and fourth quarter. There were a couple of times where he would be setting up a play, just pass it back and forth between Derek White, and he would be open for a spot up 3. And that's exactly where you're going to find Derek White and Sam Hauser for their best looks. That's when the Celtics offense is at its most efficient, is when Jayson Tatum is able to facilitate, having 11 assists tonight, really open up the floor for the Boston Celtics. And also seeing him active on the defensive end, he was matching up extremely well down low. because he was facing a smaller 76ers team. Their center tonight was Gershon Yabusele, who we were generally accustomed to seeing in the 4 position here in Boston. And it was just a game that you really needed to see your star player take over. And if this team is going to maintain this consistent streak, and especially going into these more challenging matchups, you're going to need Jayson Tatum to have performances like this and really lead this team by example.
Jayson Tatum's playmaking ability was on full display tonight. And you see the 35 points up there, but ultimately those 11 assists and what Jayson Tatum was able to do for others was the most impressive thing Jayson Tatum did in this contest, because Jayson Tatum, as of late, his improvement in terms of playmaking, I mean, we saw it last season and even the season prior, but this season in particular, he's putting it all together to actually make an MVP run. Will he win the MVP this year? We don't know, but I really do expect Jayson Tatum to finish in that top 5, and part of it is because of his playmaking ability. If we go back and watch film from 21-22, Jayson Tatum was not at this level whatsoever, and that was only a couple seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. And now, looking ahead, Jayson Tatum, the elite playmaking ability Jayson Tatum owns within his game, changes everything for the Boston Celtics, because the Boston Celtics, the talent they have across the roster, any of these guys at the top, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, they could be your best player on any given night. And really, if Jayson Tatum is playmaking at the level in which he's playmaking at, that gives open opportunities to guys like Jaylen Brown off the dribble. That gives opportunities to Kristaps Porzingis off of the pick and pop rolls. That gives opportunities to guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday, whether it's in the corner or on the wing. And you just see so many opportunities open up for all these other players that they would really not otherwise have without Jayson Tatum. And that is why Jayson Tatum is this team's MVP and could be potentially this season's MVP if everything were to work out in his favor. Some tough competition, I will say, out there, maybe in Denver, of course, Oklahoma City as well. But Jayson Tatum, he's right up there with those other playmakers across the league, those other scorers, those other dominant players, MVP candidates across the NBA. And Jayson Tatum, what he's been able to do this season, he's still, we forget about this, he's still ascending into his prime.
Yeah.
We like to think that Jayson Tatum is really in the meat of his prime, but he's really still ascending to that point in time. Jayson Tatum tonight really showed that to us. And what he's doing with the ball in his hands is just super high level basketball, and his IQ is just out of this world at this moment in time. And it's taken years of culmination and really development from his game, playing with all these different players and playmakers throughout his career, and really being meshed and molded into different rosters with different head coaches, whether it's Brad Stevens, Ime Udoka, Joe Mazzulla. Now, Jayson Tatum has seen so many different scenarios in the NBA, and this is why guys enter their prime in years 26, or ages really 26, 27, 28, from all that experience you gain early on in your career, all the scenarios you see in front of yourself. And then, of course, when the team, when when you have a great front office behind yourself, you're a superstar and have a great front office behind yourself, a great organization, that organization builds up the roster waiting for that moment. And Jayson Tatum, everything's gone almost perfectly for him up to this moment in his career. I know there's been years in which, 21-22, we lost the NBA Finals. We went down 0-3 to the Heat in 23, but last year we won the finals. All these moments have been leading up to Jayson Tatum really being one of the most dominant players in the league with one of the most dominant teams. And in terms of all the wins, losses, things could not have gone better for Jayson Tatum up to this point in his career, because of the front office's ability to put talent around himself, but also his own ability in developing his skills, not only as a scorer, but as a playmaker out on the floor. Jayson Tatum, I watched him in high school. He always had the scoring ability within his game, but distributing to others, generating those open shots for others, that's not something that's always in a player's game when they first come into the league, especially with the ball in their hands. And Jayson Tatum, the level he's ascended to was not exactly a level we all knew and was guaranteed of him at one point in time. And where he's at now is truly, truly at a level in which he is one of the best players in the NBA. And when he's playing like he played in that second half tonight, the Celtics, they are the most dominant team in the game of basketball. Don't let the record fool you. Don't let the standings fool you. This Celtics team is still the team to beat. And Jayson Tatum, he is a massive, massive reason why.
Can we, or maybe not, but if you're a team in the NBA, don't double Jayson Tatum because he is going to pick you apart.
No, let him. Let
I
them.
know, right? It's literally like please keep doing it. Be like his understanding of space, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the assists are amazing and they pop up on the stat. But I mean, even those games where he only has 4, when he's getting doubled, his ability to have control and to draw that double out and to get that ball swinging and to get the ball into the right person. Seamus, you said it. Even if you go back to that Heat series in 22-23, right? That first 3 games was really rough in terms of what Miami was doing against Jayson Tatum. It was actually games 4 and on that we saw Tatum kind of ascend into this just elite playmaking role where he just kind of understood what he needed to do with the ball in his hands and how to control the pace of the game. He did that tonight, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, guys, and he just had control of the game, right? I mean, if you put a fan that had never watched basketball in a seat and said, pick out who you think is the best player on the court, they would have easily picked out number 0 wearing the green, or actually the black jersey tonight as they were in action green. I like the hat choice, Justin. I just put
The
that
action
together, right?
green jerseys were in jeopardy tonight. There were so many good narratives going against them and they're going with them, I should say. And then we had that Raptors game tonight. It looked like the Sixers game, and I was getting ready to come in here. I was going to go, Justin, how do you think of those? What do you think of those action green now? After we started 4-0, now the last 2 have just been utterly horrendous games. But yeah, they saved themselves tonight. Good memory.
They did.
Terrible
Oh, no, like they would have been able to. They would have been able to tell you that Jayson Tatum's that team's best player. So again, just closing out here, big props to Tatum. Big props to Brown too. I know he's not the player spotlight, but I also thought Jaylen Brown was huge.